UFC 231 goes down this week. Let's talk about it. Give our picks. Who we got? Sean, you're going to tell us the odds. If you want to make money, you can follow Rob's Favourites. It's Rob's Favourites. Cracking card, though, ahead of us, boys. We've got Max Holloway taking on Brian Ortega. The fight that was meant to happen that didn't happen due to Max Holloway having injuries. And I think this is going to be the whole fallout of weigh-in and everything that went on and the health scare for Max Holloway. I think that's going to have big implications in this one, but interesting to see the lead up to it. And
that's the real question, isn't it, going into it? And I was chatting with Sean before the show, and that is the real question going in. And it seems like, for me, the consensus is that people are still very worried about it. Is that what you feel?
Well, the UFC clearly are too, because they've got Moicano on.
They've done that for a few fights as well. They have done it quite a lot.
Yeah, but they really lined it up this time.
But at what point, I think, I'm kind of answering my own question, but at what point do we stop wondering, is he okay? It's going to be fight night, isn't it? It's going to be when he walks in and we see
the cage and he looks.
Yeah, so we do have to question going in, what's he going to look like? Yeah. Because that wasn't great. And even his kind of answer of what the problem was, basically, we don't know what the problem was.
We don't know what the problem was.
Isn't great either. You kind of want some kind of definitive answer.
As we're recording, peek behind the curtain, we're recording on Monday night. So as we're recording, blessed MMA, Max Holloway is currently on Luke Thomas.
Okay. So we'll check that out.
I think it's the MMA
Minute.
Something like that. But yeah, Max Holloway is on with Luke Thomas, so I'll be interested. I'll watch that on the way home probably, just to see, get some bears. Because remember when he was being interviewed by Bisbing, he was very Max Holloway comes across a little bit, spacey as it is. I think
spacey.
You know what I mean? He's
a bit,
hey man, you don't want to buy black cats. You know what I mean? Whatever. So he's a bit, laid back.
Yeah.
Looks like a bloke who smokes a shitload of dope. He's pretty. I love Max Holloway.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Bisbing called him out. So I do think that is a really big piece of this puzzle coming into this fight. Is how is Max Holloway right now? We're like 5 days out from the fight.
Yeah.
How is he right now? Is it's playing on his mind. So mentally, it's like, when you're up early in the morning for whatever it may be, you're going on holidays, you're doing whatever. You have to be up at 6 o'clock. You wake up at 6 o'clock because your body's ready for it. Same thing as I have to lose weight. If he's thinking like that, that's going to affect him coming into it, and it's an interesting facet, I think. It's the big fight before the fight, but what do we think coming into it? Ortega, he waited. People sort of criticised it in some ways, and then other people thought, no, he was right. I was one of them guys. But for me, I know they're ranked 1 and 2, but I think we are seeing. We spoke about earlier in the show about UFC used to be the best versus the best, and this is what we're getting here on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure you picked Ortega to be like the the breakout star of the year, so potentially that could happen. I just think on paper, if everything is okay, and that's a big if, I do fancy Max Holloway to win the fight. If you watch back, and kind of a lot of people kind of go back to this fight, the Ortega and Moicano fight. I think Moicano fights slightly similar to Max Holloway, a little bit in spaces anyway. At least his hands are very, very good. And I know Ortega fought Frankie Edgar, who also has great hands. But it's a different kind of style. Frankie Edgar is like tries to get into the pocket, land shots and get out. Whereas Max Holloway, like Moicano, can fight on the outside. And if you saw that fight with Ortega and Moicano was just landing shots from the outside. And any time Ortega tried to close the distance, get a clinch, or at least try land a strike, because he is pretty much all boxing. He throws kicks, but it's not really a kind of strong suit. He was being countered on the way in. And I think he was winning the fight, Moicano. And then he shoots a takedown in the third round and gets guillotined. So, he does have that in his back pocket. But I mean, if Max Holloway can employ a similar game plan, which we've seen him being able to do against some guys who I think are better than Ortega at getting takedowns and closing the distance, I think Max Holloway wins the fight.
Am I right in saying we picked the last time as well? And
I'm sure we did.
And I went with Ortega.
Yeah, I think you did, yeah.
And I'm sticking with that. And again, it's the piece that I said about this is even the last time. I don't know. I think people. I agree with what you're saying, Moicano, and even Cub Swanson was having great success against Ortega in the stand up. But I think he's evolving it again. He's at the Ortega for me. It's something that I always say when a young fighter goes away from the cage, they come back and there's a new wrinkle to their game. They've added new spokes to the wheel. Different analogies of adding things, But yeah, I find he's one of these guys. He's going to go away and he's going to come back improved. I think people oversell his striking, as in that it's
Ortega's.
not that it's not to a good level.
Oh, it is to a good level.
Yeah, but no,
he proved it against Edgar. Yeah.
But people will sort of
No, they will.
go,
They say he's just a grappler.
Holloway's got a much better striking game, stuff like that. But I think he sets up his takedowns and he sets up his attacks with his striking. And I think, like, with the way, again, I'll get slagged by the lads when I say Holloway tends to start his fight slow, almost like a Muay Thai fighter. He waits till he comes in. He finds the pattern of his opponent. He tends to read his opponent as the fight goes on. Will Holloway, the gas tank, this is a big thing with the weight cut, with the injuries he's had leading up to this. Will he have that gas tank? If he does, like, interesting. I don't know the lines, and I don't want to know why. I am picking Ortega, so I'm giving that. But interesting to see what the betting lines are on it, because, like, I think Holloway, if he didn't have the injuries he had or the illness that he had, I think he'd be coming in a strong favourite. And he showcased it, like, he's been ruling the division since McGregor moved up.
Yeah,
it's been the Max Holloway division. I have so many question marks about just the gas tank, about the weight cut and everything. But, like, I think if Holloway can use and fight the way he does, he tends to sit in the pocket. He's happy to sit in the pocket with guys. He'll move, but he'll sit in the pocket.
Doesn't get hit a whole lot, though.
No, he's great at slipping shots and getting out of the way. He angles and sets up his attacks beautifully. And if he can stop Ortega, the thing with Ortega is, though, as he's shown, I'm rambling a bit, sorry, Ortega doesn't necessarily need to take you down to submit you. While there are jiu-jitsu practitioners that do, but he has shown on many occasions that he doesn't need to actually take you down to submit you. And I think, like, if he can allow it get into clinch, and even although Holloway works well in a clinch as well, he doesn't want to be in there with Ortega. No. And if you're a gambler man, Sean, I'm sorry I am throwing this at you as well, Ortega round 3, it's his favourite round. I'm picking Ortega, and he's going to get it done in round 3.
I think you made some really great points, and that is a big one. That submission game is a big one, because the last time that Max Holloway really fought a submission specialist that will chase them was Charles Oliveira, and that ended weird. And then before that, who was it? It's kind of hard to pick somebody out. It really is. It's hard to pick someone out. So it is a bit of a different look for him. And Ortega on the feet is very, very unorthodox. He's not like a Jose Aldo, where we have a lot of this footage and we know how he strikes. We know he uses leg kicks. We know his combinations. We don't really know with Ortega what his combinations are. He's great in the pocket, we know that, and he has knockout power. He's shown that.
Interesting enough, reach is thereabouts the same. And Holloway would normally have a reach advantage over a lot of his opponents. I think the only guy he didn't have an advantage was McGregor. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I could be wrong.
Big possibly. But yeah, I'm gonna go Max Holloway. I hope there's no issues with the weight cut, because we know that's gonna, and he's getting bigger every year. I mean, like, these guys are going to get bigger.
Aside from the greediness of us wanting to see this fight, obviously, I hope, for his own health reasons, that this is past him. Yeah. That they found what it was, whatever it was, and that, he comes into this healthy and ready to go. Because you'd hate to see Ortega win the fight against an unhealthy Max Holloway.
Yeah. Yeah,
although every fighter comes in, everyone's carrying injury.
Yeah, but I hope it's not like so bad that you can notice.
He's debilitated by it.
Yeah, I hope it's not that.
Sean, what do you think first of all, and then throw us the odds?
Yeah,
we disagreed on one. Great stuff.
Yeah, I find it hard to have a strong opinion on this fight, just because the two reasons you guys outlined. Because there's a lot of unknowns with Max coming into this fight. So I think if you're picking Max, I think you're assuming a lot that he's going to be the exact same as he was prior to pulling out. My pick is Ortega, purely because I think I've looked at the lines, obviously. I think Holloway is too short. I think there's too many unknowns in his price. Holloway is 8-11, while Ortega is even money.
I think that's a good point as well, is we're dealing with guys who are fighting at the highest of highest levels. So any kind of chink in that armour, any kind of bad injury, questions going into it is big, because when you have guys who are fighting so high up the food chain, it is those little inches that matter. And if Holloway has been just dealing with, let's make sure this wake up goes right, let's make sure I'm not sick, let's make sure whatever, all this kind of thing, and Brian Ortega is working on, I want to get better. Like you said, he keeps getting better. I want to get better. And he comes in a different animal. And Holloway is the same guy who just worried about the weight cut, who worried about his health. Then, I think it could be a big problem. But I'm just banking on that not happening.
One interesting about it as well, actually, is takedown accuracy of Brian Ortega. Without looking at the website, what do you think? How accurate do you think he is in his
Low.
takedowns?
I'd say it's low.
Low to what level?
Um,
It looks like you're looking at a laptop right now.
oh, sorry, I don't have look at Wikipedia.
That's fine. All right.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I feel it's low. I feel it's like probably 30%.
14%.
Wow, even lower.
Yes.
Jeez.
And takedowns defended for Max Holloway, 83%.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is the grappler, but he
Look at the
as we
submissions
said,
that he has,
yeah.
Ortega. He doesn't really need that many takedowns. If he gets one, you could be in trouble.
Yeah. Are we missing something? Do you disagree
let us know.
with either one of us? Have a comment. Who's your pick? Are you going with T-City or are you going with Blessed? Blessed is best, baby. Your co-main event. This is a weird... I just made a popping sound.
Yeah, what was that?
Absolutely no reason whatsoever. Joanna Jędrzejczyk taking on Valentina Shevchenko. Lads, I don't even think this is going to be close.
Really? Yeah, you think it's going to be...
I absolutely think Shevchenko's going to run through her.
Possibly. And there is a lot of people saying that. There's a lot of people that doesn't think it's going to be close.
And is this... Am I having the typical... We all done it with Francis Ngannou. Yeah, Ngannou, no, you know, he's done, you know, it's over. You're only as good as your last fight. He comes out and absolutely wellies Curtis Blades, like, job done.
Yeah.
Am I doing that, essentially, with Joanna here, where I've seen her, she's lost, and she doesn't look like the same Joanna that she was? Or are we just looking at Shevchenko, her size, she's so much bigger, she's going to carry more strength, and I know Joanna had the Tisha Torres, but this is a different beast fighting Shevchenko.
Yeah, I think Luke Thomas compared it to Rory McDonald going up to face Gegard Mousasi. So you have two really, really good fighters, but one is undersized. That's what it is, yeah. That's why he got hired. So I can see it going a certain way. And I thought Rory would have been competitive, and it wasn't competitive at all. Of course, there's those 3 losses that Joanna has to Valentina, but I don't know if you can really take them into account. Even like... from mindset point of view, I'm pretty sure that won't come into play. But I do see what you're talking about. I think, you know, there's going to be a big size difference. Not huge, but big enough. I do think Joanna did struggle to make that weight, so I think she's going to be fresh at this new weight class. And also one thing you do need to take into account as well is that Shevchenko has fallen on the last hurdle a couple of times against Amanda Nunes. And I know it's a different beast as well. That's a really big athlete, but she has. So... you know, she hasn't quite made it there yet. Maybe that's a mental thing that she can't get over either. Whereas Joanna has been there. She has been champion, so she has that experience. But I do think you're right. I think Shevchenko wins this fight. I think, you know, if it says in the feet, I fancy Shevchenko to win it. And look at our early UFC career. When she came into the UFC, I was like, oh, here we go, Shevchenko, amazing kickboxer. She's going to come in, she's going to kickbox, takes Sarah Kaufman down and wins a decision with grappling. So she has that in her back pocket. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen because Joanna has shown really good takedown defense. Pretty much like her whole game has been stop takedowns to strike. So maybe that won't happen. But
you just look at the size of the opponents, like Amanda Nunes, who looks like an absolute beast.
She's huge, she's going to fight at 145.
Yeah, so. but, you know, again, here's my little look ahead to the future. I'm picking Amanda Nunes over Cyborg. But like, you know, the last fight, Amanda Nunes Shevchenko was split. It was a hot take. Split decision win for Amanda Nunes. You know what I mean? So she's fighting this much bigger, much stronger, heavier hitter. I don't know. I just think the Gegard and McDonald is a great example.
Well done, Luke.
Yeah, well done, Luke Thomas. Bastard. But
so we're about going Shevchenko.
Yeah, I think Shevchenko. Sean, what are you thinking?
Finish.
Yeah, I think she gets her out of there.
I think so too.
Again, probably round 3,
4.
I just, you know, they fought before, obviously Muay Thai and stuff.
Yeah,
and I just think
long time.
I just think she's gonna ragdoll her
3 times.
Yeah, I think the odds pretty much reflect what you both said. Valentina is 2-7, while Joanna is 9-4.
So I'm picking a favourite again.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think we did see though Joanna did struggle to make weight. We've seen the videos; they're pretty sick. And she did lose to Rose Namajunas, who is an absolute killer as well.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, you were talking about how she's not the same fighter anymore, and I definitely think you could see that. I thought the Tisha Torres fight was a good performance. Yeah. I thought she looked good, and you know, she got hit. I just thought that was a really good performance. So back on the horse, come in here. You never know. But I think Valentina.
Alex Cowboy Oliveira taking on Gunnar Gunny Nelson. You've got 13 against 14 in the UFC rankings. Of course, we had Gunny on here just a couple of weeks ago. This is a good fight for Gunny to come back to?
I think it is. I think it's a well-matched fight. I'm going to pick Alex Oliveira just to keep the trend going of me picking against Irishmen and former guests. But no, I'm actually not. I think it's a good fight. I think it's no, I'm not picking Gunnar. I think it's a good fight for Gunnar. I don't think I think Alex is a big guy. I know he's made the lower weight class, but I still think he's a big guy, probably bigger than Gunnar. Although Gunnar's looking in serious shape. Did you see him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking in serious shape.
I think people regime as me.
I think people look back and they look at the compare yourself to athletes again. Look back at that fight with Ponzinibbio, and they don't really look at the first half of it.
No, yes,
they don't, because he was looking
brain.
excellent. Gunnar was looking excellent that fight. He's actually landing some good shots, and I thought the eye pokes completely changed it. And as well, go before that to Gunnar's previous fights, and I thought he made some really good improvements. We're just robbing all the things you're saying. But yeah, I think Gunnar Nelson wins this fight. I do think it's a bit of a tough one, coming back after the layoff. Alex Oliveira is a good guy, but I think Gunnar will edge it. Don't know if he'll finish him. Might be a decision, but I think, if he gets him on the floor, Alex has shown some vulnerabilities down there, especially off his back. I'm going to pick Gunnar. Decision, probably.
I'm going Gunny as well, and the reason being is because everything that Rob just sort of robbed. No, if you look at Alan Jouban, he looked fantastic.
That was a great fight from him. Yeah,
he looked fantastic against him, and off the same thing.
Yeah,
and Brendan Thatch is one where when we were interviewing Gunny, I actually can't remember if I actually brought it up on air or when we were sort of just briefly talking. I think too many people sleep on his background. You only have to look at his stance, his karate style stance, and he was considered a prodigy in Iceland for karate, and he just went, no, I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu instead. At about 13 years of age, I think it was. So he has a striking background. He just uses it. The one thing you might say bad about Gunny, and it was the opposite against Ponzinibbio. Sometimes he starts slow. I remember when he was fighting in Dublin against
the
name's gone.
Oh God, it'll come to me.
Zach Cummins.
Same time.
Brilliant.
Just as you get it.
Yeah, Cummins. When he was fighting Cummins, he was almost falling behind. He lost the first round, and it took him a while to get going. But I just think if you look at the Brendan Thatch, Brendan Thatch was this elite kickboxer, and Gunny absolutely rocked him, got him down and finished him with a rear naked choke. And that's what I think Gunny does brilliantly. He sets traps as well though, and I just like his movement. And I just think if it goes to the canvas, he will absolutely. If you look at the Damian Maia one, for example, jiu-jitsu, there's levels, whatever, and all this type of thing. He literally wore Damian Maia as a backpack for that whole 15 minutes. Didn't get submitted. Yeah. You look at Damian Maia fighting other opponents, the likes of Carlos Condit and stuff like that. Got his back, boom, fight over, boom. And sometimes when you see how good someone's jiu-jitsu is, it's almost in defense. Where you can see they don't get submitted, and yes, you lose the fight. You've been, but their jiu-jitsu is that good that they don't lose via submission. And I just think it's been a long time off. Looking at Gunny, he posted a picture on Instagram, was it? Holy shit, the man looks like a fucking truck.
I've never seen him look that in shape. That's what we were kind of chatting before. He usually looks in good shape. He's never looked out of shape, but he looks muscular now. It looks like he's actually taking the time to put on some mass. He does keep his he does keep his hands low, and that's always a high risk game. And it's a high risk game because it's high risk as in good risk for you, because if he didn't fight that way, he wouldn't be able to land the shots that he does.
But that's what I mean as well. He sets traps with it as well.
But then you can also see when, and again, he got eye poked. But then also in the Rick Story fight, where Rick Story was getting some success and his hands down wasn't a good thing for him. It was a bad thing for him. So,
but if you look at the Yancy Medeiros fight with Alex Oliveira,
there was brawling.
He can get wild.
Yeah, they get really wild.
And that's where I think Gunny will, if it gets wild like that, he'll just change level, boom, take down, and absolutely smother you on the ground and choke you out. So I'm going with Gunnar Nelson, and I'm going to go a second round submission.
Yeah.
Sharon, what have you got?
I'm going Gunnar by decision. Or not decision, sorry, submission.
They sound the same.
Yeah. Gunnar by submission. Gunnar is 4-7, so quite a big favourite. And Cowboy Oliveira is 5-4.
Yeah. I feel like I should change my...
I think those odds are fair.
Submission. Yeah, I think so too. I think I should change my pick.
No.
To submission.
No.
You can't do that. You've locked in.
No, you're locked in.
Okay.
You're locked
decision.
Now what you'll see,
I'll roll with it.
He's doing the whole thing now. Next week he'll go, well,
Yeah.
I said it. You know, I said it after.
I also said I was picking Oliver.
You went with classic Noel with the Alistair over him.
Yeah.
We all picked against that Alistair, and I said, I know if he wins,
I
in
know.
the clinch, and he get that ground about. Classic. Hakeem Dawodu taking on Kyle Bochniak. What have you got for me, Robert Palin?
I go quick on this one. I think Dawodu wins the fight with his striking. But it's gonna be a tough fight. I think if Bochniak, because you can see what he's doing with Magomed Sharapov, unbelievable aggression, very hard to finish. So I don't think it's gonna be a finish. And I think if Dawodu isn't defensively sound, he could probably be finished. We've seen him against Danny Henry getting caught. But I think his striking is good enough if he has a good game plan. Keep it technical. Don't get dragged into the brawl that, of course, Bochniak is going to want. He's going to look for. Defend takedowns and win on points. I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm going Bochniak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the science of he loses, he wins, he loses, he wins, he loses.
Yeah. Well,
So
if I knew that.
What's next?
Yeah.
It's a win.
Lose.
No, like against the beat, like he was in there. He's tough. He's hard.
Oh,
he
man,
took it, you know.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just like that would look good. In his last, it was his last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a good performance.
Yeah. When he came in, he obviously former guest Danny Henry beat him by a guillotine choke for. It was like in the first round.
Quick,
It was pretty quick.
Impressive, yeah.
He rocked him and finished. So I think if Bochniak can drag him into a sort of an exchange like that, I think Bochniak can get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bochniak. I'm gonna say stoppage again. Jeez, I tell you, if my fights happen,
Yeah,
the
it's
way
gonna
I'm
be a great
happening,
night.
this is gonna be. I'm gonna first round finish. Kyle
Nice.
Bochniak.
Yeah.
If all your predictions happen, you won't be here next week.
What? If I'm I'll be like, hey.
What that was?
So Dawodu is 4-7, pretty big favourite. While
Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me?
So Bochniak is 8-5.
I'm surprised that it's such a big.
I'm surprised by that as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Bochniak as well. I'm gonna join
I was taking some money on Bochniak, I'll tell you that.
after picking Dawodu.
Yeah, I don't care about picks. I'm talking about money here.
Classic Palin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bochniak. I'm gonna go decision though. He took an awful lot of damage against the beat, and was still standing.
Yeah, he took some
Tough
damage.
man, very tough man.
Keeps coming forward. Yeah, that's the problem. God damn it.
You're changing your mind.
No,
Rob keeps making picks and then going, you know what's happening? You're doing a classic. You're making your pick first, and then me and Sean are picking after you, and you're going, damn, lads are talking fucking sense here.
Yeah,
you know what
those
I mean?
are some good points.
Yeah.
No, I stick to my points.
Excellent.
Oh, okay.
Opening the card, we have Jimmy Poster Boy Manoa taking on Thiago de Lima Madrita Santos.
This is a good fight. This is a really good fight. This is a fans fight, I think. As in, it should be a finish. It should end pretty early. Two real fan favourite style fighters. And I will pick Santos.
Oh, we're disagreeing again. This is great.
again. Jeez.
Because if anybody listened to episode 1, they would have been like, they guys,
Yeah.
they just all picked the same fighters. I don't know why people who talk like this listen to Obviously Fight Talk, but like they all picked the same, and here we are just going against each other.
See, the thing with Santos, and I picked against him a couple of times.
Sounds like Santa, and it's that time of year.
Yeah, Santos. I picked it a couple of times because I think when guys can box with him and don't let him kick, he can have a lot of problems, and that's exactly what Manon was going to try do. I just think that, you know, he's made some big improvements to keep range over the last couple of fights. I've been pretty impressed with him. He's kind of, you know, gone way over my expectations. I thought the Eric Anders one was good, albeit, you know, short notice and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Santos to win. I'm gonna say finish as well.
Ooh.
F it. F it. I'm gonna say a 4th round finish.
Did you just say F it?
F it. Fuck it.
Yeah, my one here it is, right? You look at Jimmy Manoa, and again, it is falling into this. You're only as good as your last and all that, and people have memories of that. Like when you look at the Volkan Ozdemir knockout and stuff like that, then Jan Blachowicz beat him as well after that. Like people think he's over the hill a little bit. You know, his time is gone. He's like, I think Jimmy's like 37, 38 years of age.
Yeah,
very similar.
Yeah,
again,
comparing
myself to another elite athlete. But yeah, I just think Manoa, he might revert back to sort of what got him there. And it's not that he got away. It's just I think Thiago Santos is the type of fighter who will fight his type of fight. Blachowicz was, you know, he's going to be happy to stand and trade, and I just think Jimmy Manuwa has the more one-punch knockout power to finish it.
I agree with that.
Although Santos has the hammer of Thor on his chest, I do think Manuwa will be the hammer and Santos will be the nail.
Please, Sean.
And
Did I pick an underdog?
Jimmy Manuwa will win by first round knockout. You're going first round knockout.
Yeah.
I'm going first round knockout.
Jeez.
Sean, has Robert stuck to the guns and picked the favourite?
We said just off air odds on Robert picking all the favourites. He's done it again.
Oh my
He's
God.
done it again.
I'm just great at picking. Like, I should be a
bookie, a trader.
Yeah, trader.
Yeah.
Although if they all are wrong, then.
So Manuwa is 6-4, while Thiago Santos is 1-2. I'm gonna go for the week of the underdog. I'm joining Noel at Jimmy Manuwa.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Having a
Do you know what's
mare
great now? Do you know what's great though, Rob? For
What?
people, but for anyone who listens to us and then says, do you know what? I'm going to do my bets this weekend. Who was Noel picking again?
Yeah.
They'd probably have to go back and listen to the show. But with you, they just have to go onto any bookmaker's website and just pick the favourite.
I don't look at the odds beforehand. I'm just great at picking fights.
That's literally
Picking,
all people.
favourites.
That's all people have to do.
If they all lose, jeez. Anyway.
That is the main card. That is there's some great fights underneath as well.
What's your under the radar? We used to do this. Let's do it one more time, quickly.
I think you got to pick Brad Katona against Matthew Lopez.
Yeah, let's go for
Brad Katona, of course, won the Rob's favourite reality TV show, The Ultimate Fighter. Fights out of SBG here in Dublin. Obviously, he's a Canadian. Originally, he's from Canada, taking on Matthew Lopez in a very difficult fight. Lopez has, you could argue, has fought the more stacked CV opponents, I suppose you could put it. He has lost to Assunção and stuff, so I think it's a good fight. It really will show straight away exactly where Brad Katona is. Only young in his MMA career, 7-0. Was that it was the undefeated season he came off?
It was,
yeah. He's Canadian. He's super nice, eh?
Yeah. Hey, I'll go with Eric Anders, Elias Teodoro. Elias was on with us before. I just think it's a good fight. I think it's a well-matched fight. Eric Anders was almost tipped as a bit of a prospect, and he's ran into two tough guys in Machida and Santos. So, you know, this is a good fight for him to prove that potentially he could be something. And Teodoro, you know, he's been very, very good in the UFC. He's only lost to some good guys as well.
Yeah.
They all have Thiago Santos on their record. So, yeah, I like that fight.
Olivier Aubin-Mercier is on the card as well, as is Claudia Gadea.
Yeah.
Will he be rocking the tash? Looking like a Canadian gangster.
December, so if you don't November, maybe he'll keep it.
Yeah, he should do.
Yeah.